come on. Let's get on to more ignorance, bro. We got to talk about No Jumper, man. Ooh, has it been a week?
Yeah, man, they trying to hire me right now, and I said, nah, y'all ain't finna hire me.
Yeah, bro, I was saying I might have to wander around Burbank a little bit, run into Mr. 22.
Yeah,
that's why I'm trying to lay some good footage down. You know what I'm saying? Show them the podcast. Be like, yeah, what's up, man? This is what I'm doing, Adam. I ain't too ignorant. I could talk to you about anything. If you want to have them racists come up in here, bro, I'll talk with them too. I'll get at them. Unlike you, all that, man. I had all types of stuff. I guess the week started out with like the big news of the week was, well, first earlier on, AD had been mad about Adam bringing, what's the guy's name?
Richard
Spencer. Two first names. It's all good. He had him on. That had been like earlier last week, but then this week Lush is on live. They're doing Gina's little rap thing, and then you just see Adam walk in. You lied, Lush. You lied to me.
He said,
nah.
What? Nah.
Lush had that dumbass. Nah. Like, he's like,
what did I do? Like, bro, I just so scared, bro.
He was terrified, bro.
Do y'all think he actually lied though?
No, Lush was so
look
loud.
At his face, bro.
Bro, so
I thought so,
basically,
but I wasn't sure.
What happened is Adam had been telling. He had talked to Lush because he wanted to remove AD from the Tuesday show. And Lush had been basically like, oh, nah, like, I don't think you should move him. Or, like, I think it's a bad move, but I'm with you, whatever. And then he's like, yeah, I mean, he tells him same four. That was the thing that started. Is like, he tells him same 4 jokes over and over again, whatever, right? And then I guess Lush then went and told that to AD, what Adam had told about him. And he's going to the Discord and talk. They have a Discord with a bunch of fans, and they're just there to like stir up trouble. And he's telling the fans like, yeah, Adam's gonna fire AD. He's gonna have he's saying AD tells same 4 jokes. Then he's talking to them about like what everyone makes. So Adam walks in on the live stream like, you lied, Lush. I've just talked to several people confirming stuff that I only told to you. And Lush is there about to shit himself. But the biggest takeaway from this was or the biggest critique was like, why did you do this to the guy on live stream where everyone could see it? I'm surprised Adam didn't say. I thought maybe Adam's thought would be like, bro, I don't want him to spin a narrative that it wasn't what it was, so I was gonna do it right there, right then. He more said, I was just so mad I sat there for 20 minutes, then I went in and did this. So yeah, that happened. I guess we could start there. You think it was fucked up for him to do it live like that?
Yeah, because like Lush is like an ex-drug addict. He ain't really like, you feel me? He like kind of.
That's Lush one. He created battle rap.
Exactly, man. That nigga is crazy, man. He used to be right there in the midst of the disaster. All them, you know.
Do you think it's messed up to do someone live like that?
Yeah, I think Adam did it. I think Adam did him really dirty because they been working together for a minute, right? They've known each other for a while.
And he called him a fucking snake.
Yeah, he called him a snake on live. Like, all of that wasn't necessary. But the point you brought up, like, he could have definitely twisted it and maybe created his own narrative if he didn't go, like, live and, I guess, call him out publicly. Yeah. So that would have just been, like, a hassle and super annoying. A bunch of media outlets would have went crazy.
Yeah, and you got to explain it after the fact why he's fired.
Yeah, so I could see where he's coming from now. I could see that. For like wanting to expose him on live.
Yeah, he trying to deflect it though. He keep trying to like say, oh well, if Lush didn't say anything, then it'll be all good. No, it won't, because he still said it. Like,
but you think Lush is the type to like try to pull a narrative out of that?
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't put it past him. Okay. But so the whole thing though is, Adam keeps blaming Lush, and Adam's definitely, I see in my eyes, he's right as far as like, I'd be like, you're a fucking bitch. Like, why would you tell someone something that obviously I was saying to you? Like, and I also get AD being upset. Like, bro, I'm your dog. You know me for way longer, and all that type of stuff. I've always stepped out in front of everything. But in my opinion, like, I don't think it's that bad of a thing. Like, for you to say something about another co-host, like, yo, he tells them same shits. Like, I feel like that's who you're gonna tell that to. And people say, why didn't you tell it straight to AD? But if I'm calling you, because you'd already talked to AD about not being on the show. If I'm telling you you're not on the show, I don't necessarily need to. It's like if you're going through a breakup with a female. If you're at the point of breaking up, you're not at the point of pointing out flaws necessarily anymore. Like, if you're not trying to work on something, then what's the point of bringing it up? If you're already done with the relationship. He said, I think it's best for our friendship. We go our separate ways. And then to Lush, he laid out more specifics, like, dude tells the same 4 jokes every time, whatever. I just feel like it was messed up Adam talking behind AD's back, right. But was it that messed up? That's the thing I wonder.
See, that 4 jokes, that ain't even bad. Like, that's, I don't
To be
see
honest,
how
bro,
he gonna
I
be
think
that
he was.
bad for saying that.
I think, exactly. It's not that bad.
Same 4 jokes. Like, you about to cry over that?
That's what I'm saying. And then honestly, I felt like AD when they talked, you couldn't really reason with him, bro. When AD starts saying like the N word after every single line, that's when I like, for me personally, I couldn't have a conversation like that. Nigga, yeah, what are you talking about, nigga? All the shit I did, nigga. I'm just like,
he
bro.
was about to cry on that live.
Yeah, bro. When he was on the phone with Adam, bro, and he just kept saying like, I'm like, dog, if we can't keep a constant like an actual dialogue. I couldn't do it. I couldn't just be a white dude trying to reason with a dude, and then it just like that's what it turns to. As soon as you're trying to argue, like it's like, all right, bro. I feel like a constant theme is that Adam doesn't seem to understand people's emotions, and like that's why it seems so often when they get upset with him, like they're more based on the wanting him to understand their emotions than like the actual argument. And he's only an argument first guy. Exactly. But I don't seek to totally just defend Adam, because Adam definitely, bro, he looks like shit right now. Everyone's leaving him. And low-key, I predicted this on a stream a while ago. Right. Because, so now, since then, AD packed it up. T-Rail packed it up. AD and T-Rail, come on, bro. They were them dudes at No Jumper, right? Those two have left. I heard Gina Views just announced she's leaving too on Twitter. About Gina, damn. But AD and T-Rail, yeah, I think Adam definitely blew it with both of them, bro. Like, those are your two aces, bro. You really need to take care of them. And then you find out that neither of them were on contract. But here's the thing. If I'm them, though, I'm not complaining about not being on a contract. You could complain about your pay rate. But to be honest, like, no owner, no boss is saying, why didn't you put me on contract? Right. Bro, you don't want to be on contract. Right, you should be. I'd be happy to work as a 1099. Exactly. Get to build up everything you guys have built up. Because all the new people that he's put on these contracts, bro, and all the contracts that are going to be going forward, they're not going to be able to do the stuff that AD and T-Rail and all of them were able to do, building their stuff outside. So if anything, you don't want to be on that. But for T-Rail and AD to be supposedly getting less money than Lush and Almighty Suspect,
no, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
But you heard, that's when I was like, damn. He's like, oh, well, basically, like, he's like, so you just gonna have niggas slaving and whoop-de-whoop. And Adam was on the phone. He's like, yeah, basically. You didn't hear that one? When T-Rail was on the live stream?
Oh, and he was talking about the...
basically, he's like, you got to bring it up if you want to raise. He's like, oh, yeah, it's over. It's through.
So the ship is sinking, and then the dude brings on white supremacists on his
show. So he did that a little bit before, but there was already been like, it's just been so rocky this whole year pretty much. Yeah, what do you guys think about that? He brought on the guy. I keep forgetting the guy's name. I'm sorry, Richard Spencer.
And Nick Fuentes, another
Nick Fuentes.
And then he got, but on that panel was Richard, Dude, and Destiny. I don't know, who was the other guy? Was the other guy Nick Fuentes, or was it different?
Honestly, don't know.
Some other guy. Yeah, and the biggest criticism is like, how do you have the... And by the way, bro, Richard Spencer was at the Charleston rallies talking about... Yelling on all types of racist stuff.
Yeah, he had the people end up running over some lady.
He was rallying
when it happened. Yeah, that shit
was this in Chicago? No, you said Charleston. Charleston.
Yeah, bro, he had some crazy quotes. So I think the bigger thing, they called him a white Zionist before. I'm trying to look for... He has all types of stuff yelling about the white race being superior.
I mean, he's a white supremacist.
Yeah, like he's a straight white supremacist, right? He was out there doing all that. Adam always has this logic where he tries to, because I also heard Joe Budden grilling him too, and he was saying, well, I didn't think they'd have an issue since, he was open to talking to Nick Fuentes when we talked to him. Bro, yes, you and AD, you and another black man sitting down and grilling Nick Fuentes, fine. But you having 3 other white dudes on a platform, having a spirited debate, not even about any of the racist stuff, but mostly about just politics. The left versus the right. Destiny's on the left, this dude's on the right. And that was the debate, whatever. Bro, you weren't even getting to... It wasn't even an interview. It was just a nice little debate about this stuff. That's way different. And the fact he has no understanding of like, bro, you didn't have one black person. And he tried to get Van Latham. Cool, but who cares? You didn't have a black person on the pod. You didn't want to get AD. Like, and I get it. I feel like also... He got a little burnt out on AD because I could see on the podcast him just being irritable, getting heated, or like just, and he did have like a superiority complex lately, like the way he talked to everybody, like he was for sure right, or like, no, you've already told that story, we don't want to hear that same story, it's just horrible. So like, bro, I haven't heard the story and I watch all y'all shit, I'm trying to hear, bro, this is cool, but you're the one cutting it off. But sorry, back to the Richard Spencer guy. Yeah, bro, come on, like the optic is not right, and you're not grilling him, you're not talking to him, and then he's saying, Yeah, and in retrospect, based on my viewership, I probably should have harped on that a little. What do you mean based on your viewership, bro? Like, you supposed to care about it. Like, all that you've gotten off of black culture, hip hop culture, and you're gonna have this dude on your platform, and you're like, yeah, looking back, I guess I kind of failed at that because I should have made it more of an interview and maybe talked about more previous stuff, because his narrative is that he's off that stuff now, bro. That's it. Yeah, well, he says he's not on it, so why bring it up?
Narrative too, probably.
Exactly.
Think about it. No, they say, look, he's in his natural habitat in that interview. That's why it wasn't an interview. It's like he was cooling with his boys.
And they made that, Destiny made the comment, like, oh yeah, you're in hip hop, so you're the slave owner. At first, like, you're black, you're the slave owner.
She's the one who said that.
He's a guy, the white dude.
Oh, shit.
You could call him she too in a way, but
what do y'all think of Adam giving these white supremacists the platform? Because that's a whole nother thing.
See, I don't have necessarily an issue with you having one on. Like, I've seen Joe Rogan have all types of different people on. I've seen him have a white supremacist reform. I've seen him have that weird ass black dude that was going to the white supremacy meetings. The what's it called? The KKK
weird
meeting.
Dude, yeah.
Weird dude. Like, yeah, cool. Interesting to hear what he had to say. Yeah. But I'm like, bro, you went to a KKK rally and made best friends with the arch, whatever, which is it's a cool story. Yeah. So I don't have an issue with you platforming him. It's very interesting. But if you're gonna do it, go about it the right way. Like, you don't bring on Nick Fuentes and then you just want to argue, you just want to have a debate about like birth control or something. Like, nah, get at him for what he said that's been so offensive to the culture that's uplifted you, bro. Because if you want to go back to your BMX days, you wasn't on shit. We hadn't heard of you. You had a little fucking blog, bro. What was the blog doing? Nothing.
He was hanging with kids. And
you were hanging with kids. Oh, drugs. And then bro can't, dude. So in the midst of all this, right? Flakko, Poetic Flakko, fat one stutters. No shame though. He was doing a live stream. He brings this guy on. What's the guy's name? You remember it?
Some predator catcher.
They call him, the perv catcher or something. And he has him on the live stream, and they're just talking. And then out of nowhere, pretty much, he just brings up like, well, if we're gonna talk about like, could someone be a pedophile previously and then not be it anymore? And they're like, what are you talking about? Well, your boss, Adam. You know what I'm saying? There's that story back in the day. He was talking to a 16-year-old. He fucked a 16. That's basically what he was saying. Yeah. So then Flakko.
No, we're not going to do this. What you mean?
Because Flakko was on hot water, bro. Like, you know how bad it looks, your Flakko? That guy was in there to do a workout stream. That's what the guy was there for. You bring him on camera. Yeah. Next thing you know, you just brought the guy that's now exposing Adam. And he already had an issue where he had someone on there that was talking shit about academics. His, like, mentor, his daddy. And so it's like, bro, this is a horrible look for Flakko. Like, bro, what the hell are you in the midst of all this? So Flakko just cuts off the stream instantly. But dude is recording, live streaming from his phone. Smart, and Flacco's like, nah, man. So look, now. I'm like,
so look, bro. Like, right, okay. He says like 5 words.
Some of his stuttering is wild, bro. But yeah, and basically then Adam comes in. He's like, oh, what happened? Why'd you stop the stream? And he's like, what was it about the what's it called? The Lush stuff? He's like, nah, it's about you, nigga. He's like, wait, what? You. He's like, and then he basically was like, man, y'all gotta go, like, get out. Apparently, dude says Adam had the blicky on him. But I doubt that, bro, because your reaction would be way different. Because he was just getting up and getting ready to go and still talking shit. He would have
slept Adam just on live.
You gonna get shot, bro.
You think?
If he upped the blicky on, no,
you think he's a shooter?
I don't think he would up it.
But even if he showed it, bro, and you have security, bro, you're gonna flip the camera and be like, yo, this motherfucker just pulled a burner on me. Like, he didn't say that the entire time they were leaving. I think, to be honest, he went on live with Potlord, another former employee, and Potlord was like, man, he upped the blicky on you, but like, I didn't actually hear him say it. I might have just missed it. But I heard it come from Potlord first, who wasn't even there.
Blicky on the nigga that exposed you for being a pedophile.
But that story, so I guess the story goes, when he was, and I thought it was for him taking videos of Lil Pump getting head, and I heard it was 16-year-old, but I guess that wasn't it, because Lil Pump had also said, how you some and you fucking the same whatever's as me, but I think that was different.
Lil Pump said that?
But I think that was different though, because the story that they've been talking about, the story that Adam talked about several times, was that he had been 21 and he talked to a 16-year-old, and then nothing happened. They talked for 5 minutes. And he says that other dudes in his BMX circle had been talking to her or whatever, so he didn't know that she was that age when he found out he didn't talk to her. Right. But then years later, he says he's 23 now, she's 19, so she must have been at the edge of 16.
Right.
That then it went down.
Okay, so you know he left out some details, like he was grooming her the whole time. You feel
But
me?
he said they only talked for 5 minutes though. Then they just link back up. So it's like it's hard to call it.
I know you're not ready for me, but hey, I'll be back.
Hey, what you think about that though? 23-year-old with a 19-year-old, is that in itself weird?
Yeah, I always thought all this should be weird.
What's the youngest you could date if you're 23?
Well, I'm 23.
Sorry,
now.
not date, just like, you know.
Well, I'm 23, so it's like, bro, them ages is weird. Like them fresh out of high school ages, like motherfuckers is just still kids in my eyes.
19, college.
You gotta date older, man. That's how I feel.
You say that now.
Nah,
Wait till you
that's
40.
When I'm 40, I'm gonna be married.
Oh yeah, that's facts. Okay.
Family,
Hey, family man.
She gonna be older. She gonna be 44.
Cougar.
I've always thought about the age thing though, because like it's normalized if like a 60-year-old rich dude gets with a 20-year-old. 20. I'm not say 20, maybe like 25 or something like
R.
that.
Kelly shit.
No, not on that. On the Donald Trump stuff.
Oh yeah, that shit sick.
But why is that normalized? But then it's like we look at the 19-year-old to like the 23-year-old age gap as like being like crazy.
Because the maturity level is so different from like it's like the older you get, the less it matters. Right. But like, you know, even a 3-year gap, if you're a 10-year-old with a 13-year-old, that's weird. Right. Like regardless of the genders, it's weird. Like 3 years. But now if you're 23 with a 26-year-old, really not that. Well, actually, even then, I know a lot of 26-year-olds that would like that are like, especially females, I would never date a 23-year-old. See? Because they know how immature they were. Even when I think of myself at 21, bro, I see the old Snap stories, I'm like cringing, like, oh my god,
like, what
really?
The fuck was I doing?
Yeah, bro. You in a lot of them too. You just in the whip smoking.
Hot boxing.
But then, you know, I feel like 35 to 40, you're not necessarily gonna have these huge incremental changes where you're like, I remember what I was doing when I was 35. Like, bro, you're like, what were you doing?
So on some non-pedo shit, you talk about maturity. You could definitely be very, very mature at like 16, 17 years old, and then you can find females in their 20s that are like very immature. So like, how do you look at that? Because
I mean, you can be mature, but you can only be so mature, honestly. Like, I think it'll always show itself one way or another. Yeah. Like I get like you act older than your age, or you seem older, or maybe your body, not to sound weird, your body's like more developed. But like, bro, how really developed is that 16-year-old's brain? Real, like she's 16, bro. Like she's in class right now, you know, like because you can say you're mature, but like your day to day is not mature, you know, like you're in school, you're dealing with classes, you're having teachers tell you when you can go to the bathroom, raising your hand for that. Like that in itself puts you in a different brain sphere. Like that's what you're worried about. You're not worried about, you know, bills and like you're I don't know, you're just not living an actual, like you're not structuring your own life at that point yet. So you can only be so developed. Yeah. And a lot of young kids want to be like the older kids. They want to hang with the older kids. Exactly. And then sometimes that is actually partially immaturity. Yeah. Or they're just too mature for their age group. Who knows?
Hey, what about an 18-year-old with a 17-year-old? What do you think about that?
Straight.
Well, I would for sure was that dude, because
it happens to everybody.
I didn't just find a 17-year-old though. I was already in a relationship, so it's like if you dating somebody from high school. That's regular. That's the only time it's cool. If you out of high school 18 and you still at the high school looking for hoes, it's a wrap, bro. You're gonna do that shit when you're 27. You still gonna be doing the same type of shit, trying to look for 18-year-olds and shit. I'm telling you, that shit plays until you're a grown man. If you on that shit as a young kid. Niggas been out. We know niggas. We all know somebody who did some weird shit.
Oh, for sure.
We all know the same dude.
But yeah, okay. So Adam 22 goes on the weirdo list, huh?
Yeah. No, he been weird. He been exposed. It's just no one listened, bro. Shout out Milk 74, man. My white boy from Hoover, man. You feel me? He been said Adolph 22, man.
You think No Jumper's gonna come to an end soon?
No, now. Fuck soon. It's over. Who's really finna watch the next No Jumper interview without none of those people? We watching the other podcast back on Fig, nigga.
Community.
Fig
I've been on that
man,
on that heavy for sure. Yeah, Adam definitely should have harnessed those two, bro. Those were gems. And the fact that, you know what T-Rail said? What? He was saying, bro, we would have been down to do all this stuff on No Jumper. Which is, all right, here's one thing, though. Right. Sometimes the way that T-Rail and AD are talking, I'm like, yo, that's not good. Right. I'm not going to build something for your platform like that, especially you're not even on like you'd have to really be getting a bag for you to be helping build out this guy's network. Like, nah, bro, it's way better you guys are just taking all the revenue for yourselves and doing your thing and building up. But he was saying, like, I would have been down to do all this. I wanted to do so much content on the page. Like, I wanted to have community, or sorry, Fig, back on Fig would have been on No Jumper. That's crazy. Like, that's such a miss by Adam, bro. Like, imagine you could have got him all in deals and contracts. This show will only air under the No Jumper umbrella. Y'all can go to your crib, shoot whatever, but it will always air on the under the No Jumper umbrella. Bro, that would have been, dude, you're set for the next few years, bro, because that fan base is only building up, bro. And for him to have everyone alienated now, like, where do you go to now? I think he's gonna have to. It's going to be a big pivot, but it seems like that's what he wants to do anyways. But, see, a part of me felt bad for him at times. I'm like, bro, all this shit's happening all at once like that. But then I'm like, you know what? Nah, we had to watch Joey B do it. We had to watch Joe Budden restructure the whole podcast. Now I hear a little bit of rumblings over there. But regardless, you've had to see him throw 2 new guys on camera, and now 3, now 4 with the female they've added. Sorry for not knowing the name. But, like, we've seen him have to do it in real time, and no one's ever going to feel bad for anything Joe doesn't have a personality that'll let you feel bad for him. Adam, perhaps it's a race thing. It's very easy to see him as a victim, just off the way he describes stuff and how he seems sad and he's like explaining stuff. Like, realistically, there's nothing to feel bad for. To be honest, in my eyes.
I mean, it's a prime example of like having a team with like a weak,
leader.
Leader. Like, it's gonna crumble. It'll happen if you ain't got a solid foundation. They got built off of something that they're not today. Like, you feel me? Like, it wasn't what it was. Like, it was on Melrose doing the BMX shit. He did the interview with X. After that, Lil Pump and all this, and it switched to gangbangers. And bro, it was never gonna keep thriving if he's just trying to feed off
what's
the
up?
community.
Speaking of Lil Pump and Adam gonna link up again or what?
Yeah.
They gotta run it back, right?